Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to support this motion. Honorable Speaker, the issue of sexual harassment, I think, is an issue that has been there with us since the inception, or since the beginning of this world. And at times, the more we change, the more we remain the same. The more we think we are civilized and we are on the more we realize that the same thing remains. Mr. Speaker, I want to appreciate the report by the Labour Committee. But then, Mr. Speaker, as I heard, they were saying that it was said that not so many people went to the police station to report the cases. Neither did they find so many people coming up to complain. Sexual harassment, Mr. Speaker, speaking from the point of a woman, is something that brings a lot of shame and a lot of, in fact, you become more harassed when you report sexual harassment issues at times. So you realize that the DCI should not base so much their finding on the number of victims who will come out to testify. Here you have a woman who is single, for example, and has children to feed and take care of. This woman depends on the tea plantation to ensure that her family runs, or to ensure that there is still life in her family. Then you put her in a very awkward situation whereby she has to testify against her employer in order to be heard and for that to find justice. If I am that particular woman, or any other woman can attest to this, they'd rather leave the case at that, so that their children will still go to school and so that our family will still eat. Mr. Speaker, something must be done, and I've always told men, when we speak about sexual harassment and talk about women, it is not only, don't look at that point in the lens of your wives or your girlfriends. Look at that point in the lens of your mothers and your daughters, because you find at times these bills or these issues or these discussions to do with sexual harassment and women are not much supported by men, because they look at it in the lens of their women. Look at it in the lens of your sister, in the lens of your daughter or your mother. As much as investigations are going to be done, I want to urge the committee to follow up to ensure that the culprits will be brought to book. Let us not just downplay the whole issue and say that it has been assigned for investigation, or we start now arguing the point that the company is subcontracting, the sexual harassers are subcontracted. They should be held responsible. Remember, during the BBC video, it was said that most of those women have been infected with HIV and AIDS. It means that this person is knowingly, it is so hard to find that that particular person doesn't have knowledge that he is infected. So at times also the stigmatization surrounding the HIV and AIDS, whereby people fear that these women fear that even their own families might run away from them, is real. So the government should just find a way of protecting and be the person suing the tea companies, or they should stand up for those women, because they don't have to be the ones executing or the ones witnessing. It can be done as a point of interest to save a population, because if one person can infect around 60 people, Mr. Speaker, and we come here and say that the DCI will deal with that particular person, what happens if that particular person gets out of the hook? What will happen to these hundreds and thousands of people who are already affected and infected, and their life is no longer going to remain the same? So as I support the motion, I still want to say that this issue should be relooked at, and the penalties of the same should be stiffened and tightened. Companies should be given ultimatums that whether they are their employees perpetrate the act or the affair, there should be stiff penalties that should be faced, even when the third parties relating to the companies are the ones are the accused ones, because we need to come up and save people. We need to come up and save this gender, because this gender is all of us. All of us are one. So that we don't